Good morning. You're listening to XPulse AI Morning Mix. Today is Sunday, June 21st, 2026. We're covering a blockbuster talent move to Anthropic, the $750 billion data center spending wave, and a big regulatory signal around xAI, plus a rapid grab bag of tools, funding, and ads. I've got Orion with me. Ready?
Ready, let's do it.
Reuters via WTVB on June 19th reports AlphaFold co-creator and Nobel laureate John Jumper is leaving Google DeepMind to join Anthropic. How big is this?
This is a major prestige and capability signal. Jumper isn't just a famous name, he's proven he can drive a research program into world-changing outcomes. Anthropic hiring him suggests they're investing hard in top-tier science, not only product polish, and it adds pressure on DeepMind's retention.
Do moves like this change the model race, or mostly the recruiting war?
Both, but the near-term impact is recruiting momentum. Elite researchers attract other elite researchers, and that compounds. It can also shift where risky, long-horizon bets get made, especially around biology, reasoning, and safety research where Anthropic has been loud and DeepMind has deep roots.
What should listeners watch for as the tell?
If Anthropic starts publishing more ambitious science, launching new bio-adjacent tools, or forming partnerships with pharma and research institutions. Also, watch the leadership bench at DeepMind. One star departure is news. A pattern changes strategy. And yes, LinkedIn is about to get busy.
CNBC on June 20th says Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, and Meta could deploy about $750 billion this year on AI data centers, up more than 80% from 2025, and investors are now watching debt and the bond market. What's the shift?
The shift is from tech funds this from cash flow to tech is a capital markets story. At this scale, even giants start issuing more debt, timing builds around rates, and managing balance sheets like industrials. Bond yields and credit conditions start influencing how fast compute shows up.
So higher rates could slow AI progress?
It can slow build-outs at the margin, or change who can afford to keep pace. If capital gets expensive, the advantage tilts toward firms with the strongest cash generation and best financing access. It also increases pressure to prove utilization. Empty GPUs are suddenly not just embarrassing, they're expensive.
What's the real risk investors are sniffing here?
Execution risk, permitting delays, grid bottlenecks, hardware lead times, and demand uncertainty. If revenue lags behind the concrete and copper spend, markets punish it. The industry is learning that scaling intelligence also means scaling construction management. Less sci-fi, more hard hats.
Bar chart on June 20th says analysts see Microsoft accelerating an AI-first strategy. Azure infrastructure, Copilot integrations, semantic layers, and frontier models teased at events like Microsoft Build. What's Microsoft optimizing for?
Time to monetization. Microsoft wants AI to feel native across work, dev tools, and cloud, so customers pay for more seats, more tokens, and more Azure capacity without a separate buying decision each time. The semantic layer push is key. Better enterprise data wiring equals stickier Copilot outcomes.
What should a knowledge worker notice day to day?
More AI features that look small but change workflow, summaries that land inside teams, Excel logic that becomes conversational, and admin controls that make rollouts easier. Microsoft's bet is that AI everywhere beats one killer app, especially in enterprises that buy safety and integration.
Any pressure points for Microsoft in this strategy?
2. Compute cost and trust. If Copilot usage spikes, margins can get weird fast, and if outputs cause security or compliance issues, enterprise adoption pauses. The winners won't just have the best models, they'll have the best plumbing and the fewest surprises.
The Associated Press, carried by Fox 17 on June 20th, says the U.S. Justice Department asked a court to dismiss a civil rights and air pollution lawsuit over xAI's Memphis data center, tied to allegations about dozens of natural gas turbines. What's the signal?
Federal intervention here is a loud message. Data center buildouts are becoming strategic infrastructure, and governments may prioritize speed and capacity. But it also raises the stakes locally. Air quality, permitting, and equity concerns won't vanish. They'll just move into different venues and timelines.
Does this change how AI companies pick sites and power?
Yes, expect more aggressive strategies, on-site generation, long-term power contracts, and choosing jurisdictions with faster permitting. But the backlash risk grows. If communities feel steamrolled, you'll see stricter rules, delays, and reputational damage. The cheapest megawatt isn't always the safest bet.
What should we watch for next in this story?
Whether states tighten emissions enforcement, whether utilities change interconnection rules, and whether companies standardize disclosures on power sources. AI is colliding with energy politics, and energy politics plays for keeps.
In42 reports on June 20th that Indian AI startup Sarvam raised a $234 million Series B, becoming a new AI unicorn, as Indian startups raised about $426 million across deals. First, what did they announce?
They announced a very large Series B, $234 million, which is notable both for the size and for where it's happening. It signals investors still want applied AI companies with clear paths to revenue, and that India is producing AI scale-ups that can command global-sized rounds.
Fast background, what does Sarvam do?
Sarvam is positioned around building practical AI for India. Think language and voice interfaces, enterprise automation, and model-driven products tuned for local contexts. The core idea is high-utility AI in Indian languages, integrated into real workflows, not just demos.
What does a round this size change for them?
It buys distribution and infrastructure, hiring, partnerships, compute, and go-to-market. It also raises expectations. You don't raise at unicorn scale to explore, you raise to ship. The competition will be whether they can defend a niche against global labs and fast local copycats.
Let's hit a few rapid updates, starting with enterprise controls and a new Gemini assistant. What's out?
On June 20th, the street says OpenAI added enterprise admin tools to track usage by team and set usage caps, very aimed at surprise bills. Also June 20th, Tech Times reports Google Ad Manager is beta testing Ask Ad Manager, a Gemini-powered helper using retrieval over a publisher's own ad manager data.
Staying with people and momentum, who's winning mindshare and where?
Business Insider on June 19th reports Anthropic and OpenAI are now among the most sought-after employers in AI, overtaking some traditional prestige paths. And on June 20th, ET Government cites Startup Genome ranking Bengaluru, Karnataka top 10 globally for an R&D engine category and calling it Asia's #2 AI native ecosystem.
On the build-out side, any signals from chips and physical infrastructure?
Yes, Trading Key on June 20th says analog devices beat second quarter estimates, with communications and data center demand helping shares rise about 4.8%. And Cloud Computing News on June 19th lays out how AI growth is forcing rethinks in data center power, cooling, grid constraints, permitting, and sustainability planning.
And in the ad world, where does AI help? And where does it get messy?
Business Standard on June 20th says Disney's AI ad tool is stirring debate. Cheaper video reach for smaller brands, but more risk around quality, disclosure, and trust, plus synthetic voice and likeness issues. Also, Yahoo Finance on June 20th points to Satya Nadella's June 14th blog, warning that overly concentrated AI dominance could trigger public and regulatory backlash.
That's XPulse AI Morning Mix from XPulse for Sunday, June 21st, 2026. If this helped, share it with a colleague who lives in tabs and meeting notes. See you next time.